Welcome to the battlefield. You're watching Wrestling Reality Hub, your front row seat to WWE Mayhem. Subscribe and let's drop kick into the headlines. Chris Jericho just dropped the biggest bombshell in wrestling history. And what he revealed about John Cena's retirement match might change everything fans thought they knew about WWE's biggest storyline of 2025. The wrestling world is in chaos as Y2J hints at something massive, something that could define both men's legacies forever. It's not just about one final match, it's about legacy, redemption, and giving John Cena the send-off he truly deserves. And now Jericho's cryptic messages are pointing toward a showdown that could shake the entire wrestling industry. The cryptic social media posts that started everything for weeks, Chris Jericho has been stirring the pot online, and fans who've paid attention are starting to see the pattern. On Twitter, Jericho posted a throwback photo from his 2008 feud with John Cena, a rivalry that helped shape Cena into WWE's top star. But it wasn't the picture that caught people's attention. It was the caption, "Some matches deserve a proper ending." Alongside it was a calendar emoji pointing to 2025 and a question mark. To longtime fans, this wasn't random nostalgia. It was a clear tease. And once the speculation started, Jericho only fueled it further. On podcasts and interviews, he began dropping subtle comments about unfinished business and how retirement matches should mean something real. None of this sounded accidental. Every word, every post, every wink to the camera felt intentional. Soon, insiders began whispering that talks between Jericho and WWE had been quietly happening for months. Not casual conversations, serious negotiations. The kind that could lead to one of the most emotional and historic matches in wrestling history. Why Chris Jericho makes perfect sense. At first, the idea of Jericho facing Cena one last time might sound unexpected. But when you look at their shared history, it's absolutely perfect. Their rivalry stretches nearly 2 decades, from Cena's early Doctor of Thugonomics days to his prime as WWE's biggest hero. Jericho was one of the first established stars to put Cena over as a legitimate main eventer back in the mid-2000s. Their matches were filled with intensity, sharp promos, and chemistry that simply couldn't be faked. In many ways, Jericho helped shape Cena's rise to superstardom. But beyond history, there's a storytelling magic between them that few pairings can match. Jericho, the master of reinvention, always evolving, always ahead of his time, versus Cena, the eternal hero who never gives up. It's a clash of philosophies, experience, and legacy in ring. Both can still go. Jericho's AEW work has proven he remains a top-tier performer even after decades in the ring. Cena, though part-time, continues to deliver every time he steps between the ropes. The potential emotional depth of this match could make it one of the greatest send-offs ever seen. The John Cena Retirement Tour. John Cena has already confirmed that 2025 will mark his final year of in-ring competition. A carefully planned farewell celebrating one of the most beloved careers in wrestling history, Cena has said repeatedly that his last opponent must be someone who understands the gravity of that moment. Someone who can give fans a story, not just a match. That's exactly why Jericho fits perfectly. Their shared history, mutual respect, and ability to connect with fans make this match emotionally irresistible. WWE is reportedly preparing a year-long retirement tour featuring Cena at major events, culminating in his final match at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. It's being billed as the end of an era. With Cena's impact, record-breaking title reigns, endless Make-A-Wish appearances, and crossover success into Hollywood, his farewell deserves to be unforgettable storyline potential. Legacy, rivalry, and respect from a creative standpoint. The storytelling potential between these two legends is limitless. WWE could build the narrative around mutual respect. Two veterans acknowledging each other's impact while battling to see who truly defined an era. Or they could flip the script. Jericho could claim he never got credit for helping build Cena's career, sparking a rivalry driven by ego, pride, and unfinished business. The tension would be palpable, the promos electric. Another layer could involve generational symbolism. Jericho representing the attitude and ruthless aggression eras, passing the torch to Cena, who carried the company into modern times. Every move, every promo would drip with history and emotion. And imagine the callbacks. Jericho locking in the walls of Jericho one final time, Cena countering into an attitude adjustment, fans realizing they're watching the end of an era in real-time WrestleMania 41, the perfect stage. If this dream match happens, there's only one place for it: WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. WWE is already treating this event as a once-in-a-generation spectacle, and adding Cena's retirement match would make it historic. The emotional weight of watching John Cena wrestle his final match in front of a packed Las Vegas stadium would be overwhelming. Fans who grew up watching him would return, ticket sales would skyrocket, and mainstream media would cover it like a global event. From the glitz of Vegas to the legacy of WrestleMania, everything about this setup feels cinematic. The undercard could be stacked with marquee matches, but everything would build to the grand finale, Cena's last stand. The business impact, beyond the match, the potential financial and cultural impact of Cena versus Jericho is enormous. Merchandise sales alone would be staggering. Exclusive shirts, posters, and collectible memorabilia celebrating both careers. WWE's streaming subscriptions would surge as fans return to witness the end of Cena's journey. Sponsors would compete to be part of the moment, and international coverage would boost WWE's brand in markets across the world. Even years later, the company could build documentaries, specials, and retrospectives around this story, cementing it as part of wrestling's cultural history. In short, this isn't just a match. It's a milestone that could shape wrestling's future while honoring its past. The social media explosion. As soon as Jericho's hints began circulating, social media went into overdrive. Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube lit up with fan theories, fantasy bookings, and dream match posters. Everyone has an opinion. Should Jericho be the one? Is there someone else better suited? Older fans who remember their 2000s clashes are thrilled by the nostalgia. Younger fans raised in the Roman Reigns era are curious to see if Cena can still deliver one last classic. The discussions have become entertainment in themselves, driving engagement numbers higher than most active storylines. Even non-wrestling outlets are starting to pick up the buzz. Proof that this story transcends the usual wrestling bubble. Conclusion: the match that needs to happen. Every clue, every tease, every report points toward the same conclusion. Chris Jericho is the perfect opponent for John Cena's final match. This isn't about ego or nostalgia. It's about giving fans a story that celebrates 2 decades of wrestling greatness. Cena's legacy deserves to end not in a routine farewell, but in a masterpiece, one filled with history, passion, and respect. Jericho understands that. He's been part of wrestling's evolution for over 30 years and knows what a moment like this means, not just for Cena, but for the business itself.